Sure was a beautiful weekend. And then windy this morning, which tells me change is a brewing, Shawn.
Oh, the wind is always a good clue. And yeah, we do have some change on the way. But before I go blah, blah, and all the changes in the cold, let's recap the weekend. Look at this. 2 record high temperatures set. Saturday, we got to 57. On Sunday, a record high of 52. It was a beautiful weekend, but now we have a pair of cold fronts. The first one actually went through earlier today. We hit our high this morning. We've been dropping ever since. The second one, the one that has the nastiest little wave of Arctic air behind it, that one is going to come through late tomorrow into tomorrow night. Right now, we have dropped to 27 degrees, the wind out of the north gusting to 28, and we have been kind of blustery all day. Makes that wind chill factor 14. So we are definitely feeling cold, and blustery is going to be the key here for the next couple of days. Right now, 27 in New Ulm. We have 27 in Windham. Currently in Fairmont, 29. Blue Earth, 28. St. Peter, 26. Waseca, current temperature now at 28. The radar's clear, and the satellite does have clouds. We've had a flurry or two off and on here through the afternoon, but really not a lot of precipitation with this or with the other one that's going to come through. You can see this cold front's already in Illinois, almost all the way across Wisconsin. Now we wait for the next one, which is going to come scooting down from Canada tomorrow night. This one will bring a second reinforcing wave of cold. It's also going to bring a little light snow. No one's going to get more than a half inch, but there could be 1 or 2 spots that do get maybe a quarter to a half inch of light snow. It's not going to be much. The big thing that you're going to notice is the temperature drop. Through tomorrow evening, we're going to basically hold steady in the mid-20s, but then once that front comes through, boom, we are going to go down fast with steady temperatures in the single digits, mainly most of the day on Wednesday. Let's go through tonight into tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We will see a few glimpses of sunshine here and there at times tomorrow. It'll be kind of a mix of clouds and sunshine. Then as we take you into tomorrow night, you can see that snow coming in from the Dakotas, off and on light snow showers possible tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. And then we'll actually clear out on Wednesday, but boy, it's going to be gosh darn cold throughout the day Wednesday. We're going to get even colder Wednesday night, Thursday, and then we will bounce back into the weekend. 19 tonight, little breezy, mostly cloudy, northwest wind at 15 to 25. Tomorrow, the wind will back off. A mix of clouds and sunshine, flurries in the afternoon, and then some light snow tomorrow night. We'll get to around 27 for a high. The wind, not too bad tomorrow, northwest at about 5 to 15. Then on Wednesday, falling temperatures. The wind is going to kick in a little. We'll probably be 15 to 25-ish on Wednesday. So not only will it be cold with temperatures in the lower single digits by late Wednesday afternoon, it's also going to be a wind chill day with wind chill in the teens below 0 for a good chunk of the day. 9 for a high on Thursday, and then we do bring it back. 24 Friday, upper 20s on Saturday, 34 on Sunday. We do have a couple shots at a few scattered snow showers here and there as we take you late week into the weekend, but nothing major, and that trend continues with more temperature ups and downs, but mostly dry conditions through the majority of next week. Stacy and Dia, that's what's going on. Back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Shawn. Well, tonight at 10, the latest on the arrest of a suspect in the killing of Brian Thompson.
Plus, reading to children even when they're infants. Learn the lifelong benefits of shared reading between parents and kids. Join us for those stories and more tonight on KEYC News Now at 10. We'll be right back.
The 10-day forecast is brought to you by